Did you know that paradigms have significant control over outcomes in your life? They have the power to influence everything from your relatives to your income. When you change your paradigm, everything in your life changes with it. Steve Jobs once said that God has gifted us with more talent and abilities than we ever hope to use in our lifetime, and our gift to God is to develop as many of those talents and abilities as possible. But how can we do this in our lives? We need to understand who we are and what makes us think and act the way we do. We live in a rapidly changing world, and we cannot escape the future. Think about it for a moment. It is with great pleasure that I bring you lessons from the great works of Bob Proctor. When analyzing the educational system, we tolerate the absence of a crucial subject, ourselves. Just a little psychology here, a little that there, but few people understand who they are. Officers. Have you heard of the words inscribed on the temple of Apollo at Delphi? Know thyself. We must know ourselves in order to understand what is important and bring it to heart. God has gifted us with more talents and abilities than we ever expected to use, and our gift to Him is to develop all that we can. But for that, we need to understand how to develop it. If we don't understand how the mind works, we will never be able to change a paradigm. Some people may find this repetitive, but this is how paradigms are formed and transformed. Solomon expressed it very clearly many years ago that understanding is gained in everything we receive, and understanding how our mind works is critical. Indeed, it is true that repetition of information at least 10 times is necessary for understanding to develop. Therefore, the only way to develop our understanding is through study. There is no other way to do it. Joe Barker, author of a book on paradigms, emphasizes the importance of this concept and warns that ignoring the power of paradigms that influence our judgment can put us at risk as we explore the future. Like him, I also don't want to put myself at risk, and I want to be clear about my path. Therefore, I suggest that we do the same, map out precisely where we want to go and what we will do to achieve our goals. This is what I call treasury mapping. Solomon claimed that where there is no vision, the people perish, and he was correct. We need to build a clear vision of what we want to do in our lives, which will not be a simple task. While you and I can easily think in pictures, many people struggle with visualizing their goals. Let me explain how this works. If I ask you to think about your car while listening to my voice, your auditory system picks up that vibration, which passes through a nerve pathway until it reaches a group of cells in your brain. These cells amplify the vibration and transform it into an image of your car. Now let me show you how we can quickly change these pictures in your mind. Picture your bedroom, now picture your refrigerator, now picture your garage, now picture your bathroom. Do you see how quickly we can switch images? Now, imagine your mind. Many people think that the mind is just the brain, but in fact, the mind is the movement, and the body is the manifestation of that movement. The brain is a part of the body that the mind uses to process information and thoughts. Although the brain itself cannot think, it is through brain cells that we think and construct our mental images. We have an abundance of brain cells that we can educate and imbue with images to build a clear view of the mind. In order for you to get involved in this next series of ideas, I want you to deeply understand everything that has been done so far. As Robert so well said, when we read a good book a second time, we don't discover something we didn't notice before, but something inside ourselves that wasn't there before. I want to tell you about an extraordinary doctor, Dr. Brother Fleet of San Antonio, Texas, who in 1934 dedicated his life to healing disease. He warned that we face a very serious problem. And that's why I need you to be completely immersed in this knowledge, as I believe it's the key to overcoming this problem. It is critical that you understand every detail so that you can apply them wisely and effectively. We will not see improvements in health as long as we continue to treat only the symptoms and not the whole person. It is necessary to understand that the body is the expression of the disease that dwells within us. If we want to eliminate a disease, we need to go to the root of the problem and treat all three parts that make up our being: the spiritual, the intellectual, and the physical. When there's a problem, all these parts are affected, so you have to treat the person as a whole. It is necessary to have a clear picture of the mind and body to work with and understand how they work. There are two parts of the mind, the conscious and the subconscious, and studying them helps us understand why they function in such different ways. It is necessary to break paradigms and understand that we are much more than just a physical body. We are complex and multifaceted beings, and we need to be treated as such. Health is a state of balance between all the parts that make us up, and, to reach it, it is necessary to treat the person as a whole, without neglecting any of his parts. The conscious mind is a godsend. It is the most powerful part of our mind, where we exercise our ability to choose. It is the place where we make decisions and select what we accept and reject in our lives. Imagine that you are reading the news and discover that the economy is in crisis. But wait, did you know that during the Great Depression of the 1930s, some people became millionaires? That's right, the economy wasn't bad for everyone, but only for those who didn't know how to take advantage of the opportunities that presented themselves. The truth is, we are in control of our lives. We know what our problems are and we can choose how to deal with them. However, many times, we let circumstances control us and we end up accepting everything that comes our way. This can lead to a messy, troubled and purposeless life. What we need to do is look, think and understand what is happening around us. We must use our capacity for choice and select only that which will help us to reach our goals. When in doubt, we must ask the right questions. Will this keep me on purpose? Will it take me in the direction I want to go? Will I use my creative faculties and become all that God intended me to be? Don't let circumstances control you. Don't go the way of the crowd just because everyone else is doing it. It's important to have the courage to think for yourself and do what's right for you, even if it means going against the grain. Don't fall into this trap. Life is an eternal journey and it is your responsibility to develop yourself into something phenomenal. Though we may lose everything we have when we leave this world, what we are is ours forever. Therefore, it is essential to work on our personal development and be aware of our choices. Our conscious mind has the ability to accept or reject, but the subconscious mind simply accepts whatever is put into it. Think about this for a moment. Your subconscious mind is able to accept everything without question, without the ability to reject it. And there is one more interesting thing about the subconscious mind: it cannot distinguish what is real from what is imagined. Now, come to think of it, anyone in the medical field will confirm that placebos are commonly used, even if many don't know the origin of the word. Placebo comes from Latin and means, to please. It is when a person is given a sugar or flour pill and is told that it will eliminate any pain or discomfort they are feeling. And often, even without any medication, the effect is the same. But how is this possible? The idea is that when a person doesn't accept or reject something, their mind remains open and vulnerable. And that's when the medical professional can put an idea in the subconscious mind, which will be expressed by the body. Some people might think this is impossible, but the truth is, it happens all the time. Most people are in a deep hypnotic trance. Hypnosis is nothing more than suggestion, an idea that is given directly to the subconscious, and everything that is put there must be expressed. The subconscious mind does not have the ability to reject, it will accept anything given to it. Think about it. Your subconscious mind is a fertile field for suggestion. So choose carefully what you put in it. Don't get carried away by the suggestions of others. Make your own choices and create your own reality. Although I've spoken tirelessly about it, it seems most people just can't get it. And that's why I insist, we need to go back in time and remember what it was like when we were born. At that time, our conscious mind was not yet formed, and everything we heard and saw was absorbed by our subconscious mind, which was open and ready to be impressed. The people around us repeated the same things, did the same things, and ate the same food every day. And all these ideas went straight to our subconscious, becoming fixed as habit patterns. That's why, for example, we wake up at the same time every day. It's a habit. And when we do things like putting on our makeup or shaving, that too becomes automatic and doesn't require any conscious thought. But right now, I want you to stop and think about yourself driving your car. How do you feel to be in control? Do you feel safe or afraid? Remember, our habits shape our thoughts and behaviors. So, if you are driving with fear, it means that your subconscious is impregnated with this idea. Maybe right now you're feeling overwhelmed, trying to juggle multiple tasks while driving through the city in heavy traffic. You might be talking to someone next to you or trying to talk on the phone, or even listening to the radio to distract yourself. All of this seems to happen automatically, without you having to devote much conscious attention to these activities. But now, think back to when you first started driving. Remember how you had to focus on every detail, remembering what each pedal was for and how to shift gears correctly? Over time, through the constant repetition of these ideas, they became fixed in your subconscious, becoming automatic. And so, driving became second nature to you. This is what we call a paradigm, the set of subconscious patterns that shape our habits and behaviors. They are present in every cell of our being, influencing our choices and actions, often without us even realizing it. Unfortunately, some of us are programmed with paradigms that keep us from reaching our full potential. Some students, for example, are conditioned to keep their grades low, even though they have the intelligence and ability to succeed in their exams. And this can spill over into other areas of life, preventing us from achieving our most ambitious goals and dreams. But you don't have to be one of those cases. If you recognize that your current paradigms limit you, you can change them. You can reprogram your mind to believe in yourself, in your ability to achieve success and prosperity. It's sad to think that this happens because we are programmed from an early age to accept that this is the way life is, that there is nothing we can do to change it. Why don't we teach from a young age that we can challenge these paradigms and build a better life for ourselves? It's disheartening to see how many of us just go through life without really paying attention to what's going on, without questioning our own beliefs and thoughts. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that we don't have control over our income and financial life, when in fact we can do much more than we think. I know it's hard to change, but we need to understand that our thoughts and behaviors are shaped by our paradigms. If we want to change our lives, we need to change our way of thinking. We must stop accepting what we are given and start creating what we want for ourselves. Look how paradigms control our lives, they literally dictate everything we do. Think of a child in school, struggling to improve his grades. Parents put her in a room to study and do chores, but that's not what she needs. These kids know how to pass tests, but their behavior is controlled by paradigms. They are programmed to receive the grades they are getting. Just like I was programmed to get bad grades in school, with low self-esteem and a bad self-image. But if you look closely, imagine all these books stored in your conscious mind, full of information. The problem is that school never taught us how to change our paradigms. So many times we don't do what we would like or believe we are capable of doing. It just doesn't happen. We need to change our paradigms. We need to believe in ourselves, in our abilities, in our potential. It's time to break the chains that keep us from achieving our dreams and goals. It's time to change our mindset and be more confident, braver, and determined. Let's go together on this journey of transformation and personal growth. I hope this video has inspired you to have faith and open yourself to the good that the universe has to offer. Write here in the comments, "I believe," and share this video with your friends and family. Thanks for watching, and until next time.